welcome everyone to this exciting session. So, this particular session will be one that will take you through the UN processes, and I will be moderating a session by very interesting panelists.
Well, since working with the UN, I have gained even more confidence in myself and improved the way I think about world changing issues. I've been working on food security and nutritional problems in my community for the past several years, but through the UN, I have developed a broader perspective of food security issues across the world. And I am learning to think critically to provide solutions to some of the most pressing problems and hopefully provide comfort to those who are affected by them. Being involved in the Food Systems Summit has also helped me shift my career focus, and I would like to be in a position to work globally and plan to study biotechnology in college.
I think one of the issues that we commonly see is that there's so many young people who don't have a connector point to the UN and to the global stage. I think that there's an opportunity to engage a lot more industries, whether that be on the federal level with our individual countries, all the way down to private sector organizations to connect young people back to the global stage. That's why I'm so glad that I had an opportunity to speak at CFS, and I almost laughed to myself because I nearly ran out of time. I came within 3 seconds from the chairman cutting me off, but it was an amazing opportunity to share the importance of youth in agriculture. One of the things that I firmly believe is that it's our job to ask for a seat at the table, because it won't always be provided or just given. And so what's the worst that they can say is no, but we keep trying. And whenever we ask for a seat at the table and we're given that opportunity, that allows for us to open up the door to give a seat at the table to the next generation, to eliminate some of the barriers that are there from young people getting to the global stage. And I think that the more that we educate our young people on how that they can have a personal impact, individually and collaboratively with other organizations and other youth, the more we open up that door to fill the agriculture pipeline, not just from the farming aspect, but from technology, leadership, and all across the board. One of the greatest things that we have is the word of mouth. Recognizing that there are other youth that are in our network. They say that your network is your net worth. There's a lot of value that we have in reaching out with one another so that we can grow how many people have access to the summit and are knowledgeable about it. Also, using your power of your social media, reaching out to other mentors and other organizations to encourage them and make them aware of the Food Systems Summit, and that there's an opportunity for them to have access to young people within this sector.
Well, from experience, I do know that for youth, voicing your opinion is very, very important. I've been working to provide safe and I've been working to provide safe and nutritious food to my community. And for the past 5 years, through our Village Community Garden, we've been able to do that. But solutions are needed at a broader scale to ensure all people can get access to food that will help them thrive. That's why I think the Food System Summit dialogues are so important. They give all young people a way to share input on what is working well in their communities in areas where they see they need a need to improve.
One of the main things that I took away from that experience is it really brought into perspective that the world is so much grander than we think, and that we realize when we take a moment to look outside of our individual communities and our individual lives, that there are things going on in the world that sometimes are seen and sometimes aren't recognized by the media. And so therefore you have to go looking for them. But it also reminded me that there is enough space for all of us to have an impact on the way that our world views agriculture, on how we feed the world, and how we leave our lasting impact. I'm very grateful to have had that opportunity, but even going home, it got me thinking about how can I use the resources that I have, the knowledges that I've gained, the experiences that I've had to impact other young people, but also carry that on with me. Unfortunately, I won't be young forever, but we have to think about how we can use these experiences going forward to leave our lasting mark. So the connections that I've been able to make with so many people that I see on this call, and hopefully those will continue even with the ones that I haven't had an opportunity to meet yet, to expand my network. And that way that even within my profession, that is within agriculture here in the States, that I can offer that opportunity to another young person and expose them to a global stage that reminds them that there are opportunities that are here that are not always highlighted, and you have an opportunity to play a big part and to help pave that way. As I say, sometimes we have to kind of go through a big thicket of grass and chop everything down and make a path, but it's with purpose, and any effort to make a path for another person coming behind us will never return void. So it's always in good purpose. And so the global stage really reminded me that I have a role to play, and that there is space for me to play that role, and that I also don't have to wait for someone to hand that opportunity to me.
I like what you said. We have to pave the way and also create a mechanism for other people younger than us who will have this system through which they can engage with policymakers. And I like what Ambassador Hans said at the beginning, at the first session, that the youth need to have a seat at the table. So with these mechanisms to have young people engage at the UNCFS, we are also creating those mechanisms because they were not there before. I remember at the CFS 45, young people was such a, should I say, like, bizarre sighting. It's always like, oh, you're a young person. What are you doing here? You lost. But then again, we saw at the CFS 46, there was an enormous number of young people participating and getting to even organize a plenary session. I think that was one of the hallmarks for me. And also personally, having this community of young people, like-minded individuals, having the privilege to have met, if not almost all of you in person, and just have this community where we can grow and encourage each other.